word ignited a deep fear within Ashley's bones as she stood next to him in their father's living room. Indignation seemed to flow from every pore in his body. She knew exactly what he meant when he told Shane to grab a rifle. It wasn't a forest animal her older brother planned to kill. They would be hunting Ethan. A wall of dread hit her, but it was more than just a feeling. It was like a premonition, a fear that somehow this night would change her family forever. "There's no way I'm going to let you two go gunning for my ex-husband tonight," she told her older brother, her voice firm. Ashley appreciated her family's desire to protect her, and she knew both of her brother's girlfriend needed to be kept safe, but she didn't want Kyle and Shane going to unnecessary lengths that would put their own lives in danger. "You can't stop us," Kyle replied, a defiant look on his face. She knew she couldn't physically prevent them from running off into the woods, but she could try to dissuade them. "It would probably just be a waste of time anyway," she said. "Ethan's most likely back in Briarwood searching for me and Brett." "Nah, he's here," Shane stated in a matter-of-fact tone. Ashley's gaze jerked towards her younger brother. He seemed confident in his words. Did he know something that she didn't? "What makes you think Ethan's in Metler Ridge?" she asked. "Jesse Crowder said he seen him this morning down by Laurel Creek," Shane told her. "Jesse hollered at him, but Ethan took off." So their old neighbor and Ethan's former drinking buddy had spotted her ex-husband once again. She wondered why Jesse hadn't called her. She made it clear that she would pay for information on her ex-husband's location. Maybe because he didn't have anything concrete enough to sell. Or maybe he was working with Ethan and the sighting was false, reporting to her brother to throw them off of her ex-husband's real trail. The possibilities made her head spin. She didn't know what to believe. "If you want to look for Ethan, can't you at least wait until morning?" Although the timing of Ray's death was questionable, so far, her ex-husband had committed all of his murders during the night. She didn't want her brothers to be the next casualties. If they insisted on going, she talked them into waiting until daylight and she'd go with them. "We best catch him off guard," Kyle said. "He won't be expecting us now. He'll think we're defending the fort." Her older brother's reasoning made sense. You stood your ground and defended your home when it was the most vulnerable during the hours of darkness. Still, their plan worried her. "Where are you going to start the search? Laurel Creek?" "Uh-huh." Kyle shook his head. He knows he was seen there. He'd done be cleared out by now. I'm figuring we sneak up on some of his kin, spy out their places." "And what will you do if you find him?" she asked, afraid of the answer. Kyle stared at her. "We'll be letting him decide that." A shiver ran through her. A steely set of her older brother's eyes told her that his decision had been made. He and Shane would hunt her ex-husband tonight, and there was nothing she can do to prevent it. The odds leaned towards one or more of the three men not surviving the encounter. She had to make sure it was Ethan that ended up in the morgue and not Kyle and Shane. If she couldn't change her brother's mind, she'd have to convince them to let her go along to better their odds. Her father had remained silent up until now. "You boys watch your step," Spencer said, finally rising from his recliner. "Ethan ain't got nothing left to lose." Ashley knew her father's words were true. If her brothers cornered her ex-husband, he'd never surrender. He'd kill Kyle and Shane even if it meant he'd die in the process. "We'll be careful, Daddy," Shane assured their father. "He ain't got nothing we can't handle." Y'all sure about that? She hoped her younger brothers was right. That they could outsmart and outfight Ethan. Kyle had always been the brains, and Shane, both bigger and stronger, had been the brawn of the duo. Together they stood an even chance. But if they became separated, if either of them had to fight Ethan alone, she worried they would come up short. Just one more reason she couldn't let them search by themselves. Once her brothers were ready to leave, she announced that she was going with them, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. Spencer nodded. First, we best get your sister settled up at the trailer, he said. The worry was apparent in her father's eyes. It was as though he calculated the odds and had come to the same conclusion as Ashley. But like her, he seemed to know his sons had made their decisions and they wouldn't be swayed. Daddy, I think they need to call Janet and Robin first and ask them to leave town, Ashley said. She didn't want to wait any longer in warning the women. They need to get out of Metler Ridge as soon as possible. Her brothers pulled out their phones. She grabbed her cell from her purse, opened her contacts, and tapped Detective Lanson's name. He answered on the second ring. Lanson. Detective, it's Ashley Hope, she said into the phone. I think I might know where Ethan plans to go next. I think he's targeting my brother's girlfriends here in Metler Ridge, and I was hoping you can contact the sheriff and convince him to check it out. Definitely. Just give me their names and address. Okay, hold on a sec. Ashley had Kyle write down the information. Janet Porter lives on Turkey Creek Road, and Robin Lynch lives on Pine Hill Road. We're not sure of the house numbers. That should be enough to find them. I'll call the sheriff now. Ashley ended the call, hoping the police would be able to surprise Ethan and catch him on the way to one of the women's homes. We best get you to the trailer, her father said. All we need to do right now is pull my car into the shed. Everything else can wait until I get back, she told him. Get back? From where? I'm going with Kyle and Shane. Kyle shook his head. Oh, hell no. Ain't no way you coming with us. You just get hurt. I have a pistol, she reminded him. I've been practicing my shooting, and I've gotten pretty good. And you have to admit, 3 against 1 would make much better odds. Nah, you just slow us down. That's not true. You and Shane could use the backup. You know you could. Not gonna happen. It was time to stand her ground. Ashley couldn't let them go without her. She was to blame for Ethan's rampage, and it was her responsibility to see that it ended. If her brothers went gunning for her ex-husband alone and something terrible happened, she'd never forgive herself. Okay, fine, she said. If you won't let me go with you, then I'll go searching for Ethan tonight on my own, and you can't stop me. Kyle looked at her as though he thought she was crazy, but she knew that if she could convince him that she would go out and hunt for Ethan alone, her brothers would give in. Just let her come with us, Shane said. You know how hard-headed she is. She don't need to be taken off by herself. Kyle hesitated, raking his hands through his hair. All right, but you have to do everything I say, he told Ashley. We have to stick together. We have to stick tight together. You can't be wandering off. I realize how dangerous this is, and that's the reason I want to be there to cover you and Shane. I won't get in the way, and I'll do whatever you tell me to. Her older brother nodded, but she could tell he wasn't happy with the situation. Let's go change into camo, she told Shane. Ashley watched Shane mount the stairs leading to his attic bedroom while Kyle plowed back through the front door, headed for his trailer. You sure you're ready for this? Her father asked, his face lined with worry. Yeah, Daddy, I have to be. I'm the one who brought all of you into this mess, and I need to make sure Kyle and Shane come out of it alive. And I promise I won't do anything stupid. I'll be careful. You remind me of your mama. Once she set her mind on something, couldn't nobody change it. She smiled. I inherited my stubborn streak from both of my parents. Ashley pulled her ID from her wallet and stuck it in the front pocket of her jeans, just in case something happened and it was needed. When she dropped her purse back onto the sofa, it spilled open and a bottle rolled onto the floor. Prenatal vitamins. The large block lettering on the label of the over-the-counter supplement left no doubt as to their purpose. Ashley locked eyes with Spencer. This was not how she wanted him to find out he was going to be a grandfather. I was going to tell you once everything settled down, she said, hoping he'd understand. He nodded, a smile spreading across his face. He was obviously happy to receive the news. Does your boo know? He asked. You're forgetting that he's not my boyfriend anymore, she said, her voice tinged with sadness. But she was sure her father hadn't forgotten. She figured he was testing her, trying to find out if there was a possibility of her and Brett getting back together. But no, she continued, I haven't told Brett yet. You still love him? She thought for a moment. A part of her would always love Brett, regardless of his infidelity. And he was her baby father. That meant they'd be connected for life, even if he wanted nothing to do with raising their child. But in her heart, she knew their relationship could never be repaired. It's over between us, Daddy. I don't see any way we could ever be together again, no matter how much I care about him. Her father stepped forward. Her father stepped towards her and pulled her into a hug. You always got a home here, he said. His voice softened her ears. You and the baby. Tears threatened her eyes. She blinked and pushed them back. She now knew her father's love for her was stronger than she ever realized. She let go of Spencer, feeling blessed to have him for a father. I don't want to tell Kyle and Shane yet, she said. After what happened the first time with Ethan's baby, I want to wait until I'm further along. If something happened and she lost the baby, it would be easier if Spencer was the only person she had to inform, other than Brett. But she still wasn't sure when would be the right time to tell her ex-fiancé about the pregnancy. That's up to you, baby girl. She knew she could count on her father to keep her secret. Ashley heard footsteps on the stairs. She grabbed the vitamins from the floor and stuffed them back into her purse. Shane appeared in the living room just as she zipped it closed. You wearing that? Her younger brother asked her, obviously referring to the pastel pink t-shirt she picked up at the discount store. The light color wasn't the best choice for someone who wanted to blend in with the night. I guess it probably would be a good idea to change, she said. She was about to head out to her car to get her suitcase when the front door pushed open. Kyle strode into the living room carrying his rifle and a long-sleeve camouflage shirt. I know this here shirt's too big for you, Ashley, he said, but you need to put it on. You can roll the sleeves up. Thank you, Kyle. She appreciated his thoughtfulness. Ashley slipped the camo shirt over her t-shirt and fastened the buttons. The towel hung down almost to her knees. She hugged Spencer goodbye, praying it wouldn't be for the last time. Try not to worry about us, Daddy, she told him. She looked at Kyle and Shane and counted herself lucky. She knew she could always depend on them, and she vowed to be there for her brothers in return as long as she lived. I'm ready if you two are, she said. Single file, with Ashley in the middle, the trio headed out through the front door and into the darkness of the night. See you in the next chapter.